Hi, all my Crochet After Dark friends. It's after dark, not as late as it may be. It feels like it's about midnight to me, but it's only about 7 o'clock in the evening here on the Gulf Coast of Texas. We've had some lovely weather lately, and I had tried to film this video outside, but between neighbors who want to mow their grass and my dog who wouldn't quit barking, it was not a good option. So I had to move it indoors. So here I am, just doing kind of a weekly catch-up video. See, this is my girl Coco back here. She probably looks black to y'all on the video. She won't look up so y'all can see her beautiful eyes. She's got some beautiful turquoise green eyes. She's really not black. She's a very, very, very dark brown. And you can see there's a little touch of lighter color on her. She's one of my oldest kitties, and she's probably going to be vocal and semi-annoying during this video, but that's okay. Seems like many crocheters are animal lovers. Lots of us have cats or dogs or both. I have both. My dog is sitting over here to my right. He probably will not pop up and give you his beauty, but he might. We never know. Okay, I'm going to share with you what I've been doing lately, and I would love to hear from you in the comments about what you're working on. I'm not really making any Christmas presents per se. I have some things that may go out to people and be gifty kind of items, but I'm not really sure about that. Calm down, Coke. Some of y'all may have seen the video where I had my prototype Christmas tree. I now have a whole bunch of Christmas tree worms. That's what I'm calling them. Christmas tree stems, worms, something or another. This is what they look like before you start folding them up into the little form that they become in order to be the tree. I'm not going to be very good at this. And of course, it's best if you're doing this when it's lying down, but you keep doing this until you have like a little section up at the top. Put it together with the beads in between. You can either use beads as a trunk or you can use some kind of twine if you have it, or you could I've used brown yarn on one. I thought that looked fine. Just left it, tied it at the very bottom of the tree, and then I kind of frayed the two ends of the yarn that were there, so it just kind of looked like little legs coming off the tree. So all the ladies, I say all the ladies, there's like 3 or 4 of us who are doing these, making as many of them as we can for our winter meeting. It's not a meeting, it's like a vacation Bible school, but it's only one day long, one morning. And we kind of wanted to give the kids something to take home that would not get thrown in the trash immediately. We know that the crafts that we have them do, which are usually not very expensive for either us to put together or for us to buy, those often end up in the garbage. But these little trees could actually go on their Christmas tree as decoration. So we have a high hope that they will like those. We'll see. See if their mommies like them. Who knows? Another thing that I'm working on, that I'm going to continue working on tonight, are placemats and coasters for our Thanksgiving meal. There are only 4 of us who will be having Thanksgiving together: me, my sister, my brother-in-law, my great niece, who's their granddaughter, my nephew, the father of my great niece. He and his, I guess you call it a second family, because he got remarried, and he and his wife and 3 other children live in North Dakota. So when they were all here with us in Texas, we had some wild Thanksgiving times. Kids yelling, screaming, crying, doing what little kids do, but it was a whole lot of fun to have all that chaos at holiday time. So with it just being 4 of us, we sometimes try to do something that will spruce things up, spice things up. We learned don't make too much food. But my sister, we were at, I don't know, Hobby Lobby probably. She's looking at uh, placemats. And she said, "Oh, I need some new placemats for Thanksgiving." And I said, don't do that. I had just bought the pattern from Tony Lipsy to make these coasters. And it is kind of big. You put a large glass on that to make this coaster. And here is the, let me make sure I get the right side of it. And here's the placemat. So you can see this is big enough for a plate. You can also see, I had it so you could see it. You can see that my seaming here curves over to the edge. It is not supposed to do that. My sister will never know because she doesn't crochet. But I clearly didn't count correctly, and so things ended up a little wonky. I did not have that problem with the coaster. I have now figured out that I need to read more carefully when I'm crocheting something like this. And it's not because the stitches are difficult, but it's because in places where I think I sometimes put 2 double crochets when I should have only put 1, or vice versa. So I think it's not a problem with the pattern. It's a problem with the person holding the crochet hook. I'm going to make 3 more sets, 1 for each of us, and everybody will have a different color. And we can either choose to have the matching colors, or we can mix and match. This is the color I'm working on tonight. This pretty, it's sort of a sage green, but there's a lot of blue in it. I think it's really a pretty color. I hope that nobody wants this. I don't think my niece will want it because it's just not her vibe. But I've got to start here. This can either, the coaster and the placemat start exactly the same. With the placemat, you just keep making your increases and getting bigger before you put your edging on it. So I'm going to be binge watching the last part of the 3rd season of The Gilded Age and crocheting tonight. So I'm excited about that. I hope that I get a lot of work done while I'm doing that. So that's something that I'm working on that's given me a lot of satisfaction and making me feel, I'm feeling pretty good with it. I like my little tree worms also because I know that, I don't know if we're going to do it this Sunday or we're going to do it the following Sunday. We're going to place them all out. We have a big dining table in the room that we crochet in. This room's called the parlor. It used to be the room that, and it still is sometimes, that brides get ready in. It's got couches and it's very nice. But it also has this big dining table in it. So we're going to put the beads out that we all have, and we're going to huddle together, and we're going to put our little trees together. We're going to probably try to get another couple of people to come help us also with that. I've really been on a cotton binge, as you're going to find out. I bought this recently at Hobby Lobby. It's just like a little tweedy yarn. It's called Spunky. I don't know why it would be called Spunky. The nice thing about it is that even though these are 2 different types of yarn, that you could see that they could go together. You know, if you wanted to do something contrasting, corresponding, whatever. I bought this, though. I have to tell y'all this story. I think it's kind of humorous. My nephew and my brother-in-law will sometimes get on the phone and they will talk for hours. Now, my nephew, he likes to cook, and for a while, his wife was working and he wasn't. It's a long story, but he was doing all the cooking in the household, and so he probably still is doing all the cooking in the household. But you didn't hear that from me. But he told me, he said, because he's always needing something from me. He says, I need you to make me a cell phone thingy that I can wear around my neck, like a little cell phone pocket. And so I found a pattern that actually it's like a crossbody thing. And I thought, I'm going to do this. He said, when I'm talking to Dad and trying to cook, I need both my hands to cook, but I'm on the phone with Dad and trying to keep the phone out of the kids' way. and everything else. So I was like, found the yarn for that. I have a pattern. I think that will come together pretty quickly too. I'll uh, probably by next week I'll at least have a start on it. I might even have it finished. Who knows? So those are like the things I'm actively working on at the moment. I have a lot of other little projects that I work on them, here and there. Some of them I look at like everybody does, I'm sure. I'll look at them and I go, I don't know what kind of yarn this is. I don't know what weight it is. I can guess. I don't know what size hook I was using. And sometimes I look at it and I think, I don't even know what the pattern is for this. So I may have to start going through some of those things and just frogging them when I really have absolutely no idea. And speaking of frogging, I wanted to show y'all, I showed this last week when I did a video. I had started on this thing that was supposed to be a blanket for a friend of ours. And I think this is about to become a frogging pattern. Number one, I don't like, the yarn is a lot looser and flimsier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how to explain that, but there are these huge swaths of black that show up throughout. I've only done like 7 or 8 rows here, and you can see that it's really dark. This, let me pull it up closer to the camera. It's dark. It's very dark, and it's not giving me the, I guess, the vibe that I wanted it to have when I started it. I just created a pattern. It's, I think, 2 rows of half double crochet, a row of double crochet. I didn't want it to be too open, but I also didn't want to do something like single crochet and spend the rest of my life working on this. But I don't like the way it looks, and I think this yarn would be better in a different project. I don't know what. So I'm going to frog this and ball it up and figure out something to do with it. I guess that is like one of the things that we go through as crocheters is that we often get started on something and we think this is going to be oh so perfect. This is going to be oh so great. And then we realize, oh, this yarn is not good. And like I said, I still think the yarn is pretty, but this isn't the project for it, or the vision that I had in my head and the way that the yarn is coming out doesn't work out. I know I could color correct and I could get rid of a lot of that black, but I just hate the thought of cutting, connecting, crocheting, cutting, connecting. It just doesn't appeal to me. I know there are some people who love to do that color correction and get, all the pinks and a variegated together and all the oranges and whatever. That is not me. It's like, if it's variegated, I'm just going to go with the flow on it. So I've got to think about this. I got to try to figure out what might be a good pattern. And it may be that it needs to be something that's more open than what I was doing with this. So I'll think about it. If you have any ideas, I'd be happy for you to let me know what you think might work. Now, I'm looking in this camera and I see that y'all can see all the mess back there on my kitchen cabinet. I think maybe I need to clean that up before I do this again. You can see the bleach and the paper towels and, well, could be worse. It's been messier before. It's a lovely sight. Yes. I listen to a lot of different people on YouTube, a lot of different creators, crochet creators. And one of them that I just recently started watching was Creative Grandma. And at first I wasn't sure that I liked her channel. And then the more I listened to her, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And she and her grandson, Cody, if you haven't ever found her, the channel is just called Creative Grandma. She and Cody do a lot of unboxings, and they take trips to Walmart or Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever. I'm not sure I've actually ever seen them go to Hobby Lobby, so I'm not positive that they do that one. But they are affiliate partners with Premier, Lion Brand, and I believe Yarnspirations. And so they show a lot of yarns that I have not really paid a lot of attention to on these websites. That was, I've seen some Lion, I've spent a lot of time on the Lion Brand site, but I had not spent much time on the Premier site or at Yarnspirations. I think Yarnspirations, I am searching my memory, but I think they do a lot of the Red Hearts. I think maybe they are like the big Red Heart distributor. But Premier obviously does their own yarn. So anyway, long story. So I was watching Creative Grandma and Cody maybe a week and a half ago, because I've had this box for several days. But they were doing a kind of a recap of all the things that Premier had on sale. Premier was having this ginormous big sale. And so I'm always down for a good yarn sale. So I took a listen to it, and it was a bad move because I got a little FOMO because they were talking about a particular type of yarn that they both like, that is called Premier Puzzle Shimmer. And this stuff was selling out. And it's like, when these colors are gone, I don't know if they'll ever be back. And it was like, oh my gosh. So, FOMO. So I go to the website and I look at the website, and I bought the only two colors that I liked. I think they had maybe a very light color. Me and light stuff, not good. I mean, you can see Miss Thing back here with her darkness. I have a black dog. I have a black and white cat. This is not, we don't need anything white in this house. But I was interested in this yarn, and it was on a very good sale. So I let FOMO get me, and I bought two different colors of the Puzzle Shimmer. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see the shimmer in there. I can see it. I hope y'all will be able to see it too. So this is called Riddle Shimmer. That's the name of it, which is I like the name. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but I like it. And you got the sort of, I don't know what I would call it a light denim color. And then you've got this, if I can make my finger get there, this sort of gray that's interspersed in there. No black. So I was real happy with that. So when I bought it, if you bought 3 skeins at a time, I don't know what they were. They were fairly cheap, because I think my whole order, I barely hit, I might have spent $75, $80. So 3 of these at a time was pretty cheap. So I bought 2 bags with this color, and let me stick it back in the plastic bag real quickly. It kind of helps keep some of the cat hair off of it. Most of my yarn, once I get through playing with it, it will go on into some sort of a plastic tote. And then I got this color, which is called Seaside Shimmer. Those don't even look the same color in there. I guess they are. They're just wrapped differently. And this one, I think I like it better than the Riddle Shimmer. Let me make sure I've got the right one here. Yes. Seashore. Boy, that's hard to say. Seashore Shimmer. And so it's a darker blue. Still got that pretty sparkle in there, and it has the lighter color located up within it as well. I don't have my finger in the right spot, so you can see that. I like this one a lot, so I bought 6 of these also. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. Probably I'm going to make a blanket with them. I don't know. This could be the blanket I'm going to make for myself and keep for myself. Put it on the chair in my bedroom and enjoy that. Also, excuse me, I'm going to lean way over here for a minute. I hope I can get my hands on all of this. Thank you. Of course, because I'm crazy about cotton lately, I bought more cotton. And I'm only going to take one of these out. I bought 3 different colors, but I'm only taking one of the skeins out. These are little tiny skeins, I think. This is called Afternoon Cotton, and this is Cobalt is the color. I love this color blue. This is one of my favorite things. Now, obviously, I got 3 of these. They came in a packet. Obviously, there's not enough here to make much out of it. And I think I had an idea in my head when I ordered these. It's gone with the wind. But this is a mercerized Egyptian Giza cotton. This is a type of cotton I've never used before. So no matter what I make with it, it will be something interesting. And if I like the way that it's working up, there's always time to go back to the website and get some more of it. It probably would make, I don't know, maybe a pretty little springtime summer shawl, something like that. I also got this color, which is called Azure. I know there's going to be a glare on it, but that's a real pretty blue also, I think. And then this is called Ginger Snap. And it's a color that I adore also. I love any kind of fall color. I always tell people, it's my colors. So got those. And then down within the box, there was a box. There was another box within a box. Give me a second to grab it. And when I took it out, I'll talk to y'all while I try to get my hands on it. It's kind of hard to get a hold of. There we go. I looked at it and I thought, I wonder what I bought that they stuck in that box. And my thought was probably some more cotton. So I was very surprised when I opened it. This is the 4th time I've made this video today. So everything has been opened, and this is going to be my final try. It just has to be as good as it's going to be. So I opened it up, and this is what I saw. Like, okay, there's some more of that kind of azure blue. And I pulled one of these out, and I started looking at it, and it says Premier Just Yarn Worsted, 109 yards, 4-weight acrylic. And it also has a price on it up here of $1.25. And I was thinking to myself, I know that one of the dollar stores, and I think it is Dollar General or Dollar Tree. I don't know what. It must be. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. It's not a store that I go to very often. We are inundated in this town with dollar stores, and typically I go to Family Dollar because it's just down the street from me. Well, down the highway. But I do know, because I've been in, I think it's Dollar Tree. I think that is the one. I've been in there and I've seen these little skeins of yarn, and I thought, oh, those are tiny, very tiny little skeins of yarn. What am I going to? I'm going to have to buy a bunch of them if I want to do something. Well, there are 12 skeins of this in this box. So there's about it says 246 yards on the label. So my math says 250. And if now I majored in English in college. I have a lot of degrees in English. So don't trust me to do the math, but I think that's probably about 1,500 yards. So that's an amount you could do something with. That box of yarn, of course, I don't have it seems like they never ship a label or ship a invoice, or it may be at the very bottom of the box, and I haven't taken everything out. But I want to say that box was like probably about $6, $8. It was very inexpensive. Everything that I bought, everything I just showed you, the sale that Premier was having was really, really good. Like I said, all of that I got, the 12 skeins of the puzzle shimmer, the 9 skeins of the mercerized cotton, and then those little 12 skeins of just the acrylic. that was, I really think it was under $75 that I paid without paying the shipping and paying taxes. It was a good deal. And at first I was aggravated that I had listened to Creative Grandma and Cody and fallen for the FOMO, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out. I better go buy it. Oh my gosh. But I'm really kind of happy that I did. So I don't know when I'll start crocheting any of that up, because within my eyesight right here, I have 4 tubs of yarn. And in my craft room, I don't even want to think about how many there may be. I want to clean I obviously want to clean everybody. Isn't this the perpetual problem? Clean up the craft room. But I have a lot of yarn that I know I'm never going to use. Not sure why I bought it when I did buy it, but I'm not going to use the yarn. I do have some girls at the school that I teach at. I know of about 5 girls who crochet. So I may take take a tote bag or 2 up there at a time and let them rummage through it, see if there's anything they want, and then let them have it. And I don't really know what else to do. I think I can probably, some of it I can take to our crochet group. Some of the other ladies might use it. Or take it to the, can't think of the word for it, the place like where you donate food and clothing. I know what the specific name of it is here in my town, but I don't want to use that. But I could take it and donate it there, because people do, people who are in need, just because you're in need doesn't mean you don't deserve to have the option to do some crafting if you want to. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. If you have ideas, let me know. I'd love to have it go somewhere where it will be used. I, for instance, have a lot of pink because my great niece, for many years, she was a little pink princess. And then one day she said to me, I don't like pink anymore. I like purple now. And all I could do was inwardly cry, because I had just ordered a bunch of pink yarn. So I was like, okay, great. This is lovely. But be that as it may, I'll find somebody that wants that pink yarn. All right. So as a wrap up tonight, I'd like to ask y'all to please like, subscribe, share, post a comment. Tell me what you're working on. Love to know about that. Post a picture of what you're working on. Can you do that? I don't know. But if you can, do. And tell me where you're at. Tell me what part of the U.S. or tell me what part of the U.S. you're from, or if you are not from the U.S., where are you logging in from? So I'd just love to hear from you, and tell your little crafting buddies hello from mine, because she will sit there on my shoulder the rest of the night. All right, I'm going to see y'all later. I'm going to try to be back no later than next Saturday, 1 week from today, and have some sort of entertaining crochet or crochet related video. All right, bye-bye.